Just a minute to get connected. I'm so glad that you're joining us today for this special program. So it's a little bit different than what we've done before, but we are very excited to share a little bit more about PMD Alliance's website and all of the resources that we offer, as well as share some of our team members that you may not have met yet. So as we get started, I'll introduce myself. My name is Anissa Mitchell, and I'm Vice President of Programs here. And many of you have met me, but you have not met some of my team members. So today we're going to take you a walk through our website. We're going to share some amazing stuff that some of you might be aware of that we offer, and some things that you might not have been aware. We have done some updates and some changes over the last year to our website, so there may be some new things in there or a new way that it's listed on the website. So we want to make sure that you know where all the tools and resources are. We're ever changing. We are always trying to meet the needs of our ecosystem. So our website is constantly evolving. So we want to spend some time just kind of walking through some of those key areas. So before we get started with the team members, we do have a presentation from our CEO, Sarah Jones. So she's going to take you through an overview, a high-level overview of our programs that we have and the different resources on the website. And then you're going to hear from different members of our team, and they're going to do a breakdown of some of those things. So I'm going to start with that. And so Julie, one of our team members who is waving to you all, she is our program liaison, and she's working behind the scenes today to run our tech. She's going to start us off with Sarah's presentation, and then we'll come back and we'll share a little bit from our team. I'm going to let you take over.
Well, I'm excited to tell you a little bit about PMD Alliance, who we are, and the services we offer. So let me start by telling you that PMD Alliance is a national nonprofit. We have services that reach people in all 50 states, actually, as well as 34 countries. And we're really excited about continuing to expand that reach and touch people who are in new areas. So since our inception, we really have been focused on trying to help people translate information and education and resources into everyday life. So we've existed in that kind of middle space where you take information, but you actually have to work with it to know how to apply it in your everyday life. I saw with my in-laws, when my father-in-law had Parkinson's, that many times they would have great information, but they did not know how to apply it to their everyday life and utilize it in a way that made a difference in their everyday life. And part of that was just because of the reality of the fact that movement disorders take a lot of time navigating medications and exercise and doctor's appointments. Taking information and translating it is a whole other thing, and was something that we really believe that we could help people with. And that's why most of our programs are workshop based. Additionally, we came up with an ecosystem. So this ecosystem was developed early on in our organizational life, and it informs everything that we do. So most organizations focus on a person with the movement disorder. They focused on the person in the middle of this ecosystem. We actually focus one level out from that. So when we're developing our programs and services, and as we're designing what we need to do, we focus on that blue area, the system that's one level out from the person with the movement disorder. And that's something that makes us a little different than other organizations and has been really informative in all of our service delivery. We know that if we are supporting and building capacity in these areas, then not only do those areas feel strengthened and more resilient, but so does the person with the movement disorder. So we use a systems-based approach to build capacity, not just with the person with the movement disorder, but also in the entire network. And we have since our inception. And you'll find this on our website. If you go to our website, in the top left corner, there's a purple button that says Getting Started. If you click on that, you can see that our website is designed with the ecosystem base. So if you click any one of these tabs, person with a movement disorder, care partner, recently diagnosed, you'll go to an area that will tell you specifically what programs and services are designed for that place in the ecosystem. Additionally, since our inception, we've been providing support group leaders education, support, and networking. We currently have a reach of about 2,400 support groups across the country. And we work very closely with our support groups, about an average of 500 to 700 support groups a year. And we train them, provide education, support, and coaching. This year, we are implementing a pretty extensive deep dive succession class, recognizing that some support group leaders need to move on. And in order to do that successfully, they need to be able to transition that leadership to the next person. So our deep dive class will help them do that. We're also launching our Support Group Leader Institute. That's an international institute. We recognize that because we are now reaching people in different countries as well as across the United States, we need to support group leaders wherever they're at across the world. And so this will result in a 2-day, half-day each workshop and conference that is online and live streamed for support group leaders across the world. So if you're a support group leader or you're interested in starting a support group, we would love to hear from you because we also have resources to help new group leaders get started. It's an entire toolkit with a large amount of resources that helps people, get their bearings and figure out exactly what they want to do in their support group. We also have care partner services. So this has been something that we've been doing since our inception as well. We have some really dynamic in-person programs, which have been paused because of COVID, and we will start them again in 2022. We've also built an online program. This is called Getting Real Online. This program includes video snippets from doctors, as well as resources, tools, and takeaways for a variety of topics. It's designed for care partners, adult children, family members, friends, and basically anyone who companions a person with a movement disorder. It helps them get their bearings and understand what's happening with the progression of the disease. Our Neuro Lifeline program has been around since our inception, and actually before our inception, it was something we were researching for about a year before we actually launched as an organization. This program offers live stream education. Now, we know with COVID, there's lots of live stream education. We've actually been using Zoom since about 2015 for our live stream educations with our Lunch with Docs, which are still continuing today. Last year, we had about 250 online education programs. This year, we will have about 200 online education programs. They are hosted by experts, most of them hosted by movement disorder specialists who educate people about different areas within the disease process. We have about 175 movement disorder specialists that we work very closely with, and about 100 advanced practice providers who also provide their time, donate their time to provide education to the community about a variety of topics and symptoms. All of these can be found on our NeuroLife Online video library. You can search this by topic, and I highly encourage you, if you have a topic that's interesting to you, watch a few different doctors talk about it. You would be amazed at the difference that each doctor brings to the table. And it comes from their own unique experience, understanding of the symptom, and their way of treating it. But this NeuroLife Online video library is available, and like I said, has hundreds of videos available for people to watch. If you're interested in viewing one of our online programs or joining an in-person program, you can search those at any time on our website. Those are available to search by, the audience type. So you can decide, I'm a person with Parkinson's, I'm a care partner, and see what's available. You can also search to see if it's online or if it's something that is in person. This year, we have offered about 9 in-person programs. We have 19 more in-person programs planned throughout the rest of 2021. Another key component of PMD Alliance, which is unique and stands out as a difference and a differentiator from other organizations, is that we have a hub of resources. So when my father-in-law was dealing with Parkinson's and I was trying to help them find support groups, I was shocked to find that I had to go to about 5 different websites to actually learn what support groups were available. And I know that dealing with a new disorder takes a lot of time. That's the last thing anybody needs, is to spend time navigating 5 different websites to find that information. So we're dedicated to creating a hub of resources for people. And the hub of resources, most of those live on our PDME app. So this app is on the App Store, for the Apple App Store, as well as the Google Play App Store or Google Play site. And you can download this for free. You put in your zip code and it will tell you what services, what support groups, and what exercise programs are nearby in your area that you can access. Our resources has a whole bunch of different information on it. If you click on the resources tab on our website, you'll come to this page. And this is basically the landing page of all of our resources. It's the hub. So you can find exercise programs. Right now, we have about 8,000 exercise programs listed on our website. We keep this up to date as much as possible. And again, this is across the 50 United States. And you can look by state and see what exercise programs are available. As you look at these, if you see something missing, please tell us. If you see something that needs to be edited, please tell us. We dedicate about a third of our resources to this entire hub network. But as you can imagine, as soon as you list something, it can change, because most of these programs are run by people, and people have life circumstances that create change. So if you see something that needs to be changed, we value your input, and we update this about every 3 to 4 months. We also have a list of about 3,000 support groups that are on our website as well. And again, we would value any updates, anything missing, and anything that you need. We host this as the only organization that has a hub of support groups and exercise programs available. And we will put anyone's exercise program, anyone's support group on this website. We just want it easily accessible for people. We are also very happy to have people link their sites to this particular site, so that no one is recreating the wheel. We're dedicated to not duplicating what's already out there. There are lots of resources out there. There's no reason to duplicate. And so, if you are interested or know of an organization that might be interested in linking to this site, as opposed to trying to keep this up to date themselves, we would be happy to help link their site to this particular area in our site. Additionally, we have treatment options available. We're very passionate about making sure that people understand what treatment options are available. You can learn about the More You Know video series. That video series has movement disorder specialists explaining different aspects of the different therapies and medications. So this is just as if you were sitting across from them in their office. It's a casual explanation that you can watch and learn about the medications. You can also visit the medication treatment option and surgical treatment options, and that has listed every single FDA-approved medication and treatment available for Parkinson's disease. Additionally, we list all of the financial assistance programs that are available, so that at any time someone can find access and support for medication assistance. And if anybody needs assistance with that, we're happy to help them. We have a Building Your Medical Network on our site as well. We list our partner movement disorder specialists, but if you click here, it will take you to the International Parkinson and Movement Disorder Society website, in which case you put in your zip code and it'll tell you what movement disorder specialists are nearby. We offer a certified Parkinson's disease care facilities program. This has also been something we've been doing since our inception. This is a training program for assisted living, long-term care, skilled nursing, and rehab facilities, as well as some community rehab facilities, to help them understand Parkinson's disease. So that if you find yourself or your loved one in any one of these kind of facilities, the staff are better able to help you. We're always interested in training new facilities, and this is a program that is continuing to grow and is a significant strategic focus for us this year. Lastly, we have the empowered communication tool. This tool might look like a symptoms tracker at first glance, but it is not intended to be that. It is intended to be a communication tool. It's intended to be filled out by the loved ones and family members and friends, as well as the person with the disease, and be a template to spark conversation about the symptoms that are happening and that different people are seeing, because frankly, we all know that depending on what seat on the bus you're on, you have a different view. So if you all sit together and have a conversation, you're much better prepared to have a conversation with your physician. So this empowered communication tool is available and able to be downloaded for anybody. Most of this is on the PD and Me app, not all of it, but most of it. If you can't find it on that app, you can go to our website at pmdalliance.org and visit any one of these resources, as well as sign up for our newsletter. And we really hope to connect with you and to stay connected, because it is a powerful community when we're working together.
All right, so thank you for listening to that high-level overview from Sarah, our CEO. And I didn't mention this before, but as we go through some things in our website and other tools that we have, I want to give you the opportunity to ask questions about them. So if you want to open up your chat box and chat your questions, and if you really want to ask a question directly to us, just wave your hand to us and let us know, either by using your reactions or type that in the chat box, and we will allow you to unmute yourself. There's just a lot of people here, so we want to make sure that we capture you. If you want to ask a question specific about how to find something, how to navigate something that we offer. So now I want to hand this off and introduce you to Rebecca. Some of you might recognize her name, but if not, you should know that she is the brains behind everything digital and technology based at PMD Alliance. She has made what NeuroLife Online is today, and really at the beginning of COVID, she was the one that did the rapid pivot and was able to provide almost daily programs on our NeuroLife Online, right in the heart of everything. And so she's going to kick us off and share some things about our technology and things that we have to offer. And I'm pass this off to Rebecca so she can do some more introduction of herself.
There we go. Hi, everybody. I'm actually going to change my view because I want to be able to see all of your faces. That was very nice introduction, Anissa. Thank you. I don't feel like that was very nice. So I'm going to start off. I see some familiar faces. I do know that I have seen many of you over the last year and a half. So I am going to talk a little bit today about our PD and Me and our support group resources. So at the end of the year last year in December, we launched PD and Me. And so I am going to share my iPhone screen. Just give me one moment. Oh, hold on. Zoom always needs to update. Technology. Okay, here we go. Let me mirror the screen. Give it a moment, but I'm just going to do a high-level walkthrough of PD and Me, maybe some changes if you did use PD and Me when we launched. So for those of you who are not familiar, this is the iPhone App Store, but this is what it would look like if you went to your iPhone App Store to download, install the app. It is free. I've already installed it on my phone, so underneath it says open, obviously. But in the Google Play Store as well, it looks very similar. You're going to see our waves. You'll see our little bug icon, so you'll know you're in the right place. But it's PD and Me, all one word. And so once you've downloaded the app, oops, sorry, I was playing with it a little earlier. Let me reopen this. Hold on. I want to show you what it's going to look like. So I'm right now logged in as a guest. Typically, it will give you that option to sign in or sign up. So if I click sign up, it does give me an option to first name, last name, password, etc. But you can, here it is. This is the screen I was looking for. You can, when you log in, you can forego signing up if you don't want to. I know some people would prefer not to sign up for an app, which is totally fine. So most of the functionality still works, even as a guest. So I am going to continue as a guest so you can see. And what this is going to do, it will ask you to give your location, it'll, you know, whether you're on an Android or an iPhone. You don't have to do that. But what it will allow the app to do is find groups that are near to you. So if you don't give that access, that's totally fine. You can still search our support group listings. Anything that's virtual will show up for you anyway. And the time is based upon where you live. So I'm in California. So when I see 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., that is my time. If you were to open this up, it probably would, if you're on the East Coast, it would look like 5 to 6 p.m. So really is based upon where you're at. If you're in the UK or you're in Australia, it will show up in your time zone as well. The top part we have are the groups that are showing up today. So at 2 p.m. my time, right at 2 p.m., anything that's listed at 2 p.m. will go away. So you'll only see things coming in the future. But what you can do is, it looks like there's only 2 that I have left today, but you can sort through and see what's available. Just like having things in person where you're at, especially right now, I know some of us are, you know, concerned about going out again, especially with the Delta variant, things like that, and maybe want to stay at home. So we do have a whole bunch of virtual groups. And all you have to do to get information about these groups is click on them, and it will pull up a little card that has information. So it'll tell you, is there a price to attend? When does it typically meet? When's the next meeting? What kind of group is it? You can also add it to your calendar. The first time you go to add to your calendar, it will ask for permissions to your calendar, especially on an iPhone. As you know, I'm sure you're used to that. But then you can put in that it's a virtual exercise group, and it will, again, put it in at the time of your time zone, so that if you want a reminder that a group is coming up, you can add it to your calendar to be reminded. Additionally, as I mentioned, so even if you opt not to give your location, what you can do is click at the very bottom of my screen. You should see it says calendar, search. Then there's that big button with, I call it a little guy because it looks like a little, it's like the little guy part of our logo. If you ever notice in the bug, it has those, it's a, you know, because the ecosystem, you know, that sort of piece. So we have the little individual guy right there in the middle, and then you have our favorites and your profile. So favorites and profile will only work if you actually have an account. And what that allows you to do, so if I go into a profile, I'm going to sign in really quick. Give me one moment. My touch ID. Sorry about this. Platform. Sign in. There it goes. So as you can see up in the top corner, I have a picture of our little Frenchie as my profile picture. And so if I go into a profile, I can change my name, my email. If I want to add my phone number, I can do that. And it also gives you the option to contact us. So if you click that, you can actually, if you see that there are, support group in your area that maybe are not up to date, you can click that contact us button. But you can also, change out your picture right there if you want. You just click on the little circle. It'll give me the option. It's being funny right now, but you can change out the picture right there. Yes.
Real quick question that came in since you're on this profile is they wanted to know if you could update the profile if you move.
Yes, you can definitely update. Your profile isn't going to be based upon where you live. It's actually, so when you log in from anywhere, so say you're a snowbird and, you normally are up in Connecticut and, in the winter you go down to Florida, right? That's what, I'm from Connecticut. That's what everybody always did. So if in the winter I go down to Florida, when I go to Florida, the time zone where I'm located, it's automatically going to update based upon my location. So even if you move, we don't capture your address or anything like that. It's just meant to make the app work for you wherever you're located. But you can change this at any point. You also have access to favorites. I don't have any favorites right now, but I'll show you what that looks like. And then you also have your search. So if you don't give your location, as I mentioned earlier, you can put in search by zip code or city or state. So if I put in my zip code 92501, it's going to show up Riverside, California. And then I can choose, am I looking for any type of group? Am I looking for an exercise group, a support group, or virtual group? So if I choose that I want an exercise group, it's going to take a moment. It's going to go into our database and it's going to retrieve all of the exercise groups within 50 miles of where I live. Now, if you don't have anything within 50 miles of where you live, it'll add an additional 25 miles up to about 125 miles until it finds something for you. In that case, you may choose to go virtual, but you do have that option, just so you know, if you're curious about how far that is. One of the things that we did add recently is we have added on these tickets, and this was actually a suggestion by a couple of our Orange County peeps, is to actually list the name of the city on the cards. Because to me, Pomona is actually a little far for me, and these are listed in order of date and time. So Long Beach, Temecula is actually a little closer to me, but it's at a different time. So you can actually see how far away a group is before you open up the card to get information. When you open up that card, now that I'm logged in, if you notice, I have this option to add to favorites. So if I add this to my favorites, if I go to my favorites here, now it shows up and it just makes it more easy for me to grab that group again if I want to find out more information about where or when, or I want to share it with somebody else. And the search is a great feature because say you're somebody who's caring for somebody else, or you're an adult child and you want to find a group for one of your parents. But say like I'm in California, my family's in Florida, and I want to find something for my mom or my dad, I can actually search their zip code and get a list of groups that are not necessarily right where I'm at. So if I put in, this is actually a Connecticut zip code where my dad is, and then I click on exercise groups, this is going to pull up exercise groups in Norwich, Connecticut, or within 50 miles. Warwick is pretty close, just small states. But I can see any groups that are nearby him within 50 miles that are exercise groups. I can also switch back and forth between support, exercise, or virtual is going to show you any groups anywhere at any time. So it doesn't matter where you're located. And then calendar is where you have, this is based upon your location, based upon your phone, and this will always show you things that are near you where you are right now. So you don't have to use the search to find things near you. Usually you would use the search to find something that is maybe in another state, or if you're going on vacation and you want to find a group to attend, etc. So that, oh, and finally, I'll give you the last piece. On the home screen, so this little feed button in the middle, if you click on that, it brings you back to the home screen. So that's what that little guy does in the middle. It brings you right back here. If you scroll down, you can actually look at, we have it sorted out by popular activities. We also have our PMDA online communities, which is our online groups like our Flying Solo or our adult children group. So if you click on that, you'll actually have access to those if you want to join them. But you also have, if you're looking for Tai Chi, we have some online Tai Chi classes that are listed. And so if you want to do Tai Chi from your living room, this is a great opportunity or great way to do that. And then the resources Sarah was talking about in her video are these right down here. And if you click on any of these, like if you click on medications and assistance, it'll actually bring you right to the website. And I do see that question from you, Steve, about how does a group get listed? I would reach out to us. You can actually send us an email at info@pmdalliance.org, and we will actually connect you with the individual who updates that database. And thank you, Rachel. And one of the things I'm going to actually show you, I'm going to share a different screen right now. I think it's this screen. Can you see my new screen, the PMD Alliance website? Okay, so anything that's on the app actually is also now on our website. So when you send in that information to info@pmdalliance.org, anything that you send in, all the information that we get will automatically go to the app and it will come to the website. So if you go to resources, you have find a group, and then you can choose support groups, exercise groups, or our virtual groups. And virtual groups are new on our website. So if your support group has gone virtual, which we've gotten lots of emails about people who have their support groups have gone virtual, they will get listed here under virtual support groups. And so all you have to do is click on that, and anything, like I said, that's in the app will show up here on the website. And it is organized by state. So if you see, we have like Alabama right here, and you're going to get a little preview, but I'm going to use California since that's where I'm at. And we have things in the different counties for Southern California. So with that, I am actually going to kick it over to Shannon. I'm going to.
Hi, everyone. Nice to
I
see
was going to
you.
say really, okay, go ahead, Shannon. I was just actually wanted to go back to Rebecca really quick because there was a question that had come through and I thought maybe you could address it. Let me have to scroll up here and find it. So David wanted to know if you could comment on the different views on the computer compared to phones and tablets, horizontal versus vertical.
Yeah, so my understanding is it's always going to be this way. It's going to be up and down. Like even if I turn my phone, it doesn't shift. That is something that we are looking in as an update in the future, but just right now, it will always be, I always get them wrong. Is it vertical that's up and down? I think it's vertical. So they'll always be vertical.
Right. So I didn't mean to cut Shannon off. She's actually the next person that's going to be speaking to you. And many of you know that familiar face as our Insync Network Manager. She's also, if you didn't know this, she is a dancer and a Dance for Parkinson's or Dance for PD instructor. So she's a woman of many talents. And so she's going to go through kind of the next step of that website in relationship to support groups. So Shannon, take it away.
Thanks, Anissa. Hi, everyone. I am actually, just like Rebecca said, I'm going to go back to the gallery because I prefer seeing your faces instead of my big face. And what I would love to start with is asking a question. And so I would love to know from you, and I'm going to have to go through the several screens of people we have and faces. Are you currently involved in a support group right now? Do you attend one, whether it's in person, whether it's Zoom? So can you just take your literal hand, put it by your face, and go ahead and just wave at me so I can kind of see quickly how many people are involved. Okay, so a good number of us, at least those of us who have our video cameras on. So that's really good for me to see. I see some responses in the chat there as well. So thanks for replying to that. So that is my focus. So Anissa just introduced me. So yes, I'm Shannon. I manage our program that's specifically for support group leaders. So I provide support for them, resources, information, trainings, and I just love being able to connect with leaders across the country because we know that they are then in touch with so many other people and that reach is very wide. So I am excited to just tell you a little bit about what we have to offer in regards to that support for support group leaders. But first of all, I just asked you that question about whether you are involved in a support group, because I just wanted to make sure that everyone kind of has a sense of what those benefits are of, why would you even want to be involved with a support group? So I just have a few things that I thought I would mention, very important things. First of all, realizing that you're not alone. right? Isn't that a big deal for you to feel like, you're in your home, you feel isolated sometimes, and sometimes you feel like you're all alone, but those support groups are ways for you to connect with others, realize that other people are experiencing those same things. You can ask questions from one another. So that leads into my next benefit, which would be learning lots of helpful information. So you get practical tips, you get resources, you learn practical things that people are doing for themselves every day that you might apply to your own life. That's a huge benefit. It's a place for you to express your feelings. How are you feeling? And getting things off of your chest. We know that that expression and connection with other people is so important. So just want to underscore that. Making new friends. I keep hearing from people that some of their best friends come from the support groups that they've joined. And so you might have groups in your area, or even if you're joining people on a Zoom virtual scenario, you might have new best friends who live across the country from you, just because you see them every week and you start to get to know each other. Gaining hope from one another. Yes. Lifting each other's spirits, positivity, reducing stress. Yeah. We all need help with that, especially with all the things that we can't control in the world. How can we support each other in that? And then helping each other. That's a really big positive, I believe, is to be a part of a group and not only receive benefit, but to also help others. So hopefully I've pitched support groups. And if you don't have one now, that you're going to get one soon. All right, so I just want to quickly share my screen and let you know where you might find resources for support group leaders. So hopefully this is coming through okay. This is our homepage. So if anyone were to go to pmdalliance.org, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see the scrolling page come across here. You're going to see these buttons, these different tabs that you can go to. But what I want to emphasize is this bright purple getting started. So if you don't know where to start, hit the purple button. So that's where I'm going to take you today. And Sarah in her video earlier described this just a little bit, but it talks, this page is helpful for people when they don't know where to get started. So in our ecosystem, we have all kinds of people living with a movement disorder, care partners, family members, recently diagnosed, and so forth. So this is the support group leader area that I wanted to highlight as my section of today's hub of resources. So if I click on that support group leaders page, what I want to highlight today, if I scroll down on this left-hand side over here, so it says the InSync online training library. InSync just happens to be the name of our support group leader program, our network. We like to call it InSync. It has a fancy name. So if I were to scroll my mouse over it, it just gives a little explanation of what you're going to find if you were to click this Learn More button here in blue. So if I want to, as a support group leader, access trainings that may have happened in the past and were recorded, but then I want to watch them now and learn something, I can click that Learn More button. And there I'm going to find a catalog of trainings that have happened in the past. And you'll find that it is in reverse chronological order. So it's the most recent to back into early last year, especially after the whole COVID situation started. And we did a lot of trainings, especially getting support group leaders hooked up with Zoom and online, and hopefully still meeting with their members. So I just wanted to show you where these are. So if I was to be interested in seeing this grief and empathy video with Judy Long, if I scroll my mouse over it and I can either click on watch video immediately, or I can hit the more details button. It'll take me to another page that prepares me to watch the video. But say I wanted to share this resource with my support group members, I would be able to, hopefully I can do this. I don't know if I can do this with sharing my screen, but what I could do is come up to the search bar up here, or the, what is that called? I can't remember what this is officially called, but I can highlight, copy, and then paste the link into an email, send it out to all my support group members, have them watch the video, maybe on their own time, and then we could come back together and potentially have a support group meeting and talk about it. So that is just an example of something that you could do as a support group leader, or if you're not, and you're just interested to learn more, you are welcome to peruse our support group leaders page. So that was primarily what I wanted to show you today. I am going to stop sharing my screen just to make sure there aren't questions and if there's a chat or something that's relevant. So I'm going to stop sharing. I wanted to let you know that we have regional workshops that we're doing on an ongoing basis, pretty much every month at this point. And then we have other trainings for support group leaders on Mondays that anyone can attend. So I just wanted to let you know about those resources quickly. I think I'm running out of time. I saw Jean with your hand up. If you'd like to unmute yourself, Jean. I think you're still muted. I'm not sure if we can help you with that. Let's see.
Unmute. Okay, can you hear that now?
Yes.
I wish you had used the our link that we would use to find a program, what you just did, because that's where I get stuck. I get on the web and I look at that, and some of them, they don't fit what I'm looking for, or they say learn more, but it never gives the exact link. And I mentioned that even after all this time, I cannot find what I'm looking for, and you don't know if you've got the right link until the program comes on, because sometimes it'll come up as an invalid link and things like that. I've tried saving, but when the link isn't the same one each week, or it is, I wish that you had used what we would be using to look for a program instead of your leadership tab. So,
Okay, I think I understand, Jean, and let me ask you a question just to clarify, to make sure I understand what you're
Sure.
asking. I know that you a lot of times attend the Thursday Care Partner Support Group. And is that what you're interested in trying to access every week?
I do have a hard time accessing that. I have saved it over and over again. I have a file in my Yahoo that's called Zoom links. Sometimes when I see something on Facebook or in this Eventbrite or whatever it is, other places, and they'll say learn more.
Sure.
And there's never a place to click, because I I do for myself. My husband has something every day, and like
Right.
you're the third Zoom today. And so keeping track of these, I get to the point where I say, okay, I've had enough, because it's too much thinking to get to where I want to be.
It's so true. That's the hard part about having so many options. So I'm not sure. I think it's Rachel who might be talking about access to some of these online communities. Is that true, Rachel? And so you can walk through that process, or is that Kelly?
Kelly's going to be discussing that next.
Okay.
Okay.
So we will each be taking little sections today, Jean.
Okay.
And so we will cover that, and hopefully it'll make sense when we walk you through our website.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, Anissa, anything else we need to address?
I don't think there's any other questions that came in, so I think it's a perfect segue over to Kelly, because she is going to walk through.
Actually, Anissa, I just wanted to, Jean, the other thing we can do as well is if your question doesn't get answered today, reach out to us on our 800 numbers on the website. It does get you to a real person, I promise, even though it's an 800 number. Promise, the real person answers the phone. And it's Margie, she's wonderful. Reach out to us, and if we need to spend some time, like just trying to walk you through how things are working, so that see what's going on, we're happy to do that. I think the big thing that we are, at PMD Alliance is we want you to be able to access everything. So if you're having trouble with something and, say this doesn't help, please call us. We will happily hop on a call with you and see what's going on.
Awesome. Thanks, Rebecca. And I'll have Julie throw that 800 number in the chat so everybody can easily write that down or copy that also. So Kelly's going to walk us through the next section. And some of you may have seen her face on our NLOs because she is our online program manager, and she's going to introduce herself a little bit and she'll share what her section is all about.
As everyone else did, let me get my view situated here. I am Kelly, and I'm the online program coordinator. So I have been on quite a few of these Zoom calls with many of you before. And today I'm going to share my screen and go over where to find programs, what's coming up, past videos, library, and then the Empowered tool, and also some of the online communities. So I've got multiple tabs open here, so we'll see how this works. And just to make sure that the internet cooperates with me here. So the first page is here. This is the homepage of the PMD Alliance website. And under programs, then at the very bottom is the search past video library. And that will take you to this page that I've got pulled up here. And first we'll scroll on down. And this is where you'll find the recordings of past programs that we've done. And like they were oriented on other pages, it's most recent, and then on back through history. So you've got the title of the program, the date, and then the same thing with, you can either just watch the video or go for more details. And one thing I did want to point out, and I believe this one here has it, the difference, another difference we'll say between just watching the video and more details is for some of these programs, when you go to more details, we'll click that. And I think this one should have what I'm wanting to show you here. There are additional resources with some of the recordings. And when you go to more details, you'll be able to see those additional resources. And this is one of them. So in this particular program, we talked about the Empowered tool, the snapshot tool, and then creating a health record. So in addition to being able to watch the video, which you can do by clicking over here, you can also then download and view the either, handouts, or sometimes it's slides, those different things. They'll be in those spots. So that's one thing I just wanted to point out there. And this is also, I feel like my computer loads a little slow, so I apologize for that. So this is just a comprehensive library of all of the recordings in chronological order. So you can just scroll through and find topics this way. And then also another way to kind of look for particular things, and I've got another page up here, are by the program types. So let me switch over to this. And this is those same program types, which is found under programs, and then the NeuroLife programs overview. And we've got that same blue bar with the different program names. But then down here, we've got little blurbs that tell you what exactly a lunch with docs is. And so just real briefly, I'll go through the different types of programs. And the lunch with docs are programs that feature movement disorder neurologists. So any program that's a lunch with docs will feature one of those doctors. And then therapy break programs feature therapists, whether it's speech, occupational, physical therapists, other ones as well. But that's what you will find within therapy breaks. And then holistics are their own separate category, and those you will find here as well. And then we've got Hear Me, which there's just a few videos archived under this particular program type, but those are also available here. And then the Empowered live streams are the live streams that talk about treatments and medication options and really go in depth about like one particular medication on a live stream. And then spotlights online are sort of the other things. So like the Lunch with Docs was movement disorder neurologists, and then therapy breaks were different therapists, whereas Spotlight is doctors, professionals that specialize in some other area, and then they would be featured under the spotlight. And then online communities, I'll flip us over to this page since that one was brought up. And these are a little bit different. They're not our typical 1 hour live stream programs like we're on today, but these are the communities. And so when we click to go over there, well, here it goes. And then same thing, we've got the blue bar, which highlights the different program names, but then also scrolling down, you get the day of the week, the program type, and then the learn more button if you did want to attend that group. So just quickly here, we've got on Mondays, the flying solo group for anyone that is going it alone in whatever capacity that might mean. Tuesdays is the group for everyone. And just as that implies, it can be anyone in the ecosystem. Tuesdays, there's also the care partner discussion group. And also on Tuesdays is the young onset group. And then Thursdays is family. And I think this won't mess anything up, but I'm going to go ahead and click over. I guess it's going to take us to the page first. And so then when you're on an individual group page, the Zoom join button is here. And when you click that, that's what would take you to the Zoom meeting to get on that particular meeting. And it's the same link every week. I hesitate to click it while I'm on an existing Zoom meeting. So I hope that's somewhat helpful, but that is the same meeting link every week for these individual groups. And let me flip over here to the events page. And so then over on events, again, from the main menu, we go to programs. I think we're seeing a theme here. I feel like everything is programs so far. And then register for upcoming programs. So this is where you would be able to see what's coming up in the not so distant future. We're actually on this program right now. So you can see then just a list here of what we've got coming up. And these again are in chronological order, but you know, sometimes we add programs as we get them scheduled and finalized. And so you see that there's a program today, September 1st, and then the next one, September 10th. That, you know, we may add a program on September 9th. So just because like currently what's up on this page isn't necessarily all that's going to be happening. There might be other things that pop in between the existing dates that are on the calendar as we get things scheduled. And back up here, we'll show like there's some search capabilities here, I guess, if you will, so that you could search for particular like topics. If you were interested in like symptom programs, treatment options, those types of things, it'll just narrow down the entire list to be a little bit more specific. And then same thing, you can also search like on that previous page where I was showing the different types of programs. Like if you were like, oh yeah, I want to hear more from movement disorder neurologist in particular, and that's Lunch with Docs, then you can just look up which Lunch with Docs programs we have coming up. And moving on over here. Oh, okay. So now we're moving a little bit out of the resources. We're moving over to, or out of programs and into resources. So same thing. This is the main menu bar. And now we'll go to resources. And then down at the bottom of the little list that pops up is the empowered communication tool. And this is the overview page of what we've got on that page. So you'll have the ability to download the tool. There's also a link to the snapshot worksheet, and then a link to a how-to video. And that video is like 1 minute long. So it's quick and easy, but sometimes it's nice to have that visual, right, to see how to use something. So know that that's there. And then when you click the download tool, that will take you to the empowered communication tool. And it is an 8-page PDF. So that's why it might be helpful to, take a minute and just view that how to use it tool in addition to this quick overview. And it's multiple pages. I'm not going to read through everything here. I just want to get kind of to like the meat of the tool, if you will. So you have a place there to put your name. And then down here is where the like tracker part kind of comes into play, which is the main part of the tool. And so there's a place to put the date, multiple dates, so that you can track different symptoms and what's going on a daily basis. And it's divided into different categories. So like this, daily living things, and those can be tracked. Oh, I did want to make sure that there's like a description here, so that if you didn't put anything in there, that means it doesn't bother you. If there's an X, sometimes an A, always or very much so bothersome. So that can be used in order to write over here in the side, like to what extent these things are occurring in daily life. And then down here is another category of possible things, the behavior side of stuff. And on down, motor, and then non-motor. And so you can see this is pretty extensive, right? And I believe Sarah mentioned it in the overview that this is meant for everyone involved. So whether you're a person with Parkinson's, caregiver, it's good to have everybody fill this out just to kind of see if what your perspective versus other people's perspective just really gives that whole picture a little bit more shape. And then we'll go back to the main page. So that was the, the download tool from the Empowered Communication resource, which was here. And then the next little icon here is the snapshot worksheet. So the snapshot tool then opens here, and this is what is like more suggested to bring to like your next appointment with a doctor and things. It's a snapshot. So like this whole thing, it's one sheet, right? So it's a little bit shorter, and it's kind of to draw attention to like this, the top 3, the bottom 3, that kind of thing. And so you can list the symptoms that have gotten worse, the symptoms that have gotten better, and then the one like major thing that, really want to be top of mind to bring up and discuss. So this is kind of framing that larger document into just pared down to like the most important tasks and things that you would want to bring up at your next doctor's appointment. And I am not good at looking at chat while I am screen sharing, so I apologize if there were some questions in the chat, but that will take care of that section of the website.
Okay, now is my section, which is discussing the importance of, oh, I'm going to put mine on gallery view too. Importance of finding a movement disorder specialist. So here we are on our resources, find a clinician. Okay, so everybody here, I would guess, has a movement disorder specialist because you're a part of our community and you know how important it is. But there are plenty of people with Parkinson's who aren't familiar with our community or aren't familiar with all that we offer. So sharing this with other people is ultimately the gift that keeps on giving. So as was mentioned in the video by Sarah, that we have a very comprehensive list of movement disorder specialists that we work with as physician advisors. So that will be listed in the different states. Now, if you live in a state that may not have one of our sort of certified movement disorder specialists, we do have this link here. And this link brings you directly to the International Parkinson Movement Disorder Society. And you can then browse your particular area of where you live to have movement disorder specialists in your area pulled up. In addition to movement disorder specialists, there are also different types of clinicians that are available through our website. So we have a big network of advanced practice providers. So these are nurse practitioners, physician's assistants, really the people that you're interacting with at your doctor's office often. So again, we have sort of our certified or PMD Alliance. We work with these advanced practice providers throughout these different states. And then other clinicians, so whether it be nurses or different therapists, you'll find everybody listed with contacting abilities to reach out to these doctors. Now, you also may be questioning all the different medication options, and we have everything listed here that the FDA approves for use for Parkinson's disease here, as well as financial assistance programs that everybody can, I'm sure, use from time to time. Certain medications are expensive, but we have every medication listed as it looks on the prescription, on the box, on the label. So it's easy to find the different medications that you may want to know more about. There's going to be additional information that you'll be able to find of each of these medications, which actually brings you directly to the website where the medication is. Maybe not this one, but I think elsewhere. And then in addition to this, you may have a question about some of these medications or the interactions with them. We also have this More You Know series, which is available, as Sarah also mentioned, but here's how to find it. And basically every therapy, every medication, we have our physician advisors do a quick little video. Maybe it's a 2 or 3 minute video on the medication, and a really great resource to be able to see a snippet about our medications, all of the medications that are provided. Can I answer any more questions? Anybody has any questions about finding medications, medication assistance, medical network? Okay, we are a bit beyond the hour, but we do have more to go over. So I'm going to pass this along to Anissa to go over the next category. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, I'm not going to take up your, oh, Am I on? Okay, I'm not going to take up your time, but I am going to mention that on our website, under the programs is also for the care partners and adult children is the Getting Real Online series. And I will share my screen only briefly just so that you can see where that is. All right, so if you go here to programs, you'll click the Getting Real Online. And that will take you to this page if it loads. I'm a little slow. And you can register if you're a new person, you go here to register, sorry, and then here if you're returning. I know sometimes we lose those links, so no fret. If you go to the website, you can hit that return and it'll take you right back to the login page. Once you get in, and I was going to go in and explain a little bit about it because we're short on time, I don't want to hold you up, but there is a variety of videos that are broken down into different session topics. Each session topic has a lot of different breakdown little segments that dive deep into that specific subject. They're broken into introductory courses and advanced courses. And they run the gamut from basic introductory to PD to dealing with freezing of gait and falls and swallowing issues. So if you haven't registered for this program, I welcome you to do that, encourage you to do that. And besides the videos, they also offer a chat group, which you can connect to others and post questions. You can post comments or thoughts about things. Of course, the Getting Real Online discussion group is monthly that Alyssa Taylor runs. And that is something that's posted on the online communities as well. And we are constantly evolving and adding new programs to the Getting Real Online. It is specifically for care partners and adult children and family. And as Sarah referenced in her video, anyone who's companion to the person with the disease. And we're adding to it. So we welcome your comments and your thoughts about that program and anything that you would like to address. So I'm sorry I kind of rushed through that, but I want to be mindful of everyone's time. And now I'm going to pass this off to Leanna because she's going to explain the last thing, which is our Facebook pages.
Hi, and I'm only going to take you 3 minutes. So I'm Leanna, I'm Manager of Digital Engagement, and I get really excited finding out what excites you when you come to our website and social media pages. In particular, I'm going to talk about Facebook here. I just wanted to make sure I could share my screen. There we go. So just briefly, in case you happen to be one of the few people on this call who haven't visited our Facebook page, here it is right here, Parkinson and Movement Disorder Alliance. You can find us if you're on Facebook. Just search for pmd.alliance and you'll find this page. This is for anyone to join. You can follow us, or many people, over 3,000 now are follow us. You can like us. And here's where we're trying to showcase a lot of different things, including, for example, once a week, you'll see what's coming up in a nice, pretty video there we've got, and some videos. We're trying to add more and more videos of our fun people and getting you new and exciting content that'll keep you engaged. As part of this, you may or may not already have seen this, but we have under, if you go at the top of the page here, you'll see more. You'll see this more button here. If you click on that, you can hit on groups. And this, I just want to quickly point out, these are 2 groups. This adult children of people with Parkinson's, this is a closed group, so private group. So you get a chance to share things that you may not want be out in the open, get some advice and tips from fellow children of people with Parkinson's. I have already joined that. So you can see join. I'm not going to show you that page because it is private. And then there's also brand new, just 12 hours old, Flying Solo for those of you that are living with Parkinson's on your own, whether you're physically alone or you feel alone, you're welcome to join that group and just click that button right there. So again, that's on the more part. Once you've followed our page, you can see our page. And then this is our main Parkinson's movement disorder page. And our second page, very important that you know about, is our Parkinson's care partners. And this is, again, this is an open page, so anyone can see this. It's unlike the private group. But this is for care partners, and we hope to keep adding more and more new content here that is specific to people that are caring for someone with Parkinson's, whether you're a family member or someone else that has a loved one with Parkinson's. So again, some inspiration, tips, hopefully you'll find on this page. And that's pretty much it.
Thanks, Leanna. So I know we went over everyone, but we wanted to make sure we at least covered the highlights of our website. I know that there's still a lot. It's a little bit overwhelming, which is a good and a bad thing. I encourage you to go and play around on the website. You can always send an email if you have questions at info@. You can call the 800 number if you're trying to find something, if you want to learn a little bit more about any of these things that we touched on today. That is a great way to get that information. We will respond to you. And so if there aren't any other questions, I want to thank all of you for joining us. And I want to thank my fantastic team members that joined me and put themselves out there to present today. They all did a great job. I'm glad that you got to meet them face to face. And if we would do like we do everybody and give them the wave of gratitude also for being a part of this. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, ladies, for helping us to explain all that we offer. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday. Thank you so much. Goodbye.